Can I just say, because I'm not a proper YouTuber and I don't have the equipment, you're currently balanced on an espresso box and a milk frother box to prop it up behind, as only a true professional would have as a setup. Hello and welcome back to Into the Masson jar, which is so aptly named now. We are on episode 2 and today we're going to be talking about acceptance, and I was kind of inspired to talk about this based on a conversation I had with my friend Jules on the phone the other night. She was like, you need to talk about this, it's so relevant and so important. So yes, we're going to be talking about accepting changes that have occurred, whether that is pandemic changes, which is all very relevant just now, and also changes that have occurred since I have become a retired athlete. One real thing that I was actually quite worried about when I stopped swimming was swimming in public lanes, because when some of us in some swim sessions had to get into the pool early if we were going out to uni or something and had to make a 9 o'clock. We would swim in the public lanes before our own session started and then join in when kind of our guys got in the pool. And because you have a target, long-term and short-term, the short-term being that you have a session to complete, you need to get it done within your time before you head off, and a certain distance you need to complete, and then long-term being that affects your performance in a race later on. So with that in mind, with that mindset, going into a public lane where of course there's people that are not going to be swimming at your level, even in the fast lane, are going to get in your way. And I found that was so frustrating. And now looking on it, I'm like, really? You really needed to get over that. But you had a specific goal in mind. So therefore, if anyone were to get in your way, it was very frustrating, even though we were going into a public lane that wasn't our own session. So why get annoyed? Anyways, I was worried that when I was going to be a member of the public, that this frustration was going to continue, because I'd come from such a high standard of training that I worried that if anyone slowed me down, I would get immensely frustrated. However, this has not been the case. So I've been swimming for the last couple of weeks now in public lanes. And I remember after the very first session, turning to my friend and saying how surprised I was at how calm I was in the session, even though I got stuck behind people all the time. And my acceptance of this is that I would literally just sit behind them, give them their space, did not care. None of us are there to compete internationally, and they're not going to get that from a public lane. There's no real goal in that way. And also, with the new COVID restrictions, the sessions are only 45 minutes to an hour, which is so small compared to what I'm used to. So I would do 2-hour sessions. You just did what you could in that time, and then get out of the pool, and whatever you'd done was fine. You could leave and get on with your day. And I was so amazed at how quickly I got into that mindset, how quickly I accepted that was just the case. And no matter what I did in the pool, it wasn't going to affect my day. I'd gone swimming, that was my decision. I was happy enough. So that's probably one of the biggest things that have mostly surprised me, but a good example of acceptance. I've also had to accept that in the gym, I am training almost to live. I was saying this to Jules the other day on the phone, that before we were training in the gym with an end goal, and it was tailored to our stroke, our events, everything like that. And now it's kind of like you're training to live, and to function as a normal human being. And it's difficult going to the gym with no I was going to say intention. There's intention there, but not having an end goal. I guess with some people an end goal is in the form of lifting a specific weight, maybe ending up looking a certain way, whereas I don't really feel the drive to do either of those. If I'm perfectly honest, I don't 100% know what my target is. I just know that I want to turn up and I want to go, and I want to do the workouts that I write for myself, whether some of the days I might be on the platforms, some days I might just be working with dumbbells. It's completely different and nothing's set in stone. It's very haphazard, and it feels weird to talk about it that way because I think people maybe expect me to have I do know what I'm doing with regards to exercises, but programming for myself for someone that's now just considered the general public is quite difficult. Give me an athlete to work with and I can do that, but when it's myself, it's very different. So having to be accepting of those kind of changes and the fact that there's no real end goal at the minute is hard, and I haven't accepted it yet, and it'll take a little while. The next level of acceptance comes from more of the social element, and I think this is probably going to be quite difficult for a little while, in that, you know, over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of months, within the allowed restrictions, being able to go out for dinner or kind of last minute coffee dates with people and try and not feel the guilt in that respect. So, you know, there's been some days where I've gone for dinner, say on a Wednesday evening, and part of me has panicked because I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to get back for 10 o'clock. I need to get back to bed because tomorrow we have swim and gym and that's going to be hard. And then I remember that I don't do that anymore and I'm not committed to something like that. And I find myself kind of justifying a lot of things that I do to people around me for no reason at all. My own reason is that maybe if I say why I'm doing something, that'll make it acceptable, even though it was perfectly acceptable in the first place. I never drank beer before. I've tried it, obviously, and I was never ever into it. So yeah, I've been walking past this for the last couple of years, and a couple of weeks ago I decided I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go and speak to someone about beer and see if I can find one I like and just try something different. And actually came out with 4, and over the next couple of days had tried them. And yeah, turns out I like certain beers. Because I'm into some beers now, if maybe after my work shifts I'll pick one or two up from the shop. And somehow my brain can justify drinking them on the weekend, but if I decide to maybe have one during the week, I still can't accept that. I will have it, but the guilt surrounding it will be quite intense. I find myself really, really over explaining why I'm drinking a beer, or whatever the choice drink is. I did have a funny situation recently that really made me step back and look at myself because it was ridiculous, in that one of my work colleagues phoned me to swap shifts with me. I was like, I don't know, I've just booked in for the gym at 10:30 on the Thursday, and I know we start work at 11:30, so no, I don't think I can cover your shift. And then I really looked at myself and was like, you know what? I'm being really stupid. Of course I can cover your shift. The gym can be cancelled. yes, it would be nice to go, but yeah, that made me really look at myself, because I was like, I think that's the athlete in me still talking and kind of constantly being unavailable, and in my head at the time the gym was a priority. So what is new? What's happened? What's been going on recently? Well, currently I was gonna say I'm serving isolation. I'm not serving time. Currently I am in the middle of a 5-day isolation period. Don't worry, I'm fine, and I've tested negative. It's just as a precaution, so yeah, don't worry, I'm okay. And yeah, what else? Before I was isolating, I got a new piercing. So here we are, little rook piercing there. It was sore. It was very sore. Now I have my conch pierced, which is right through here. And when I got that was absolutely fine. So I was under the illusion that when I went and got this one done, it would be the same. And it wasn't. It was so sore. But yeah, that's one new thing. Since the last video, you might have noticed my hair is also shorter. So I got my hair cut. Very happy with it. I'm not doing as much in the way of activity where I have to have my hair up all the time. So if little bits fall out, that's absolutely okay, we can manage it. There's also been strength and conditioning opportunities, some coaching opportunities that have come my way recently, so I'm excited to see where they go. I have also embarked on a journey to create a capsule closet. Because I've spent so much time in the flat the last couple of days, it's got me thinking and starting to, reorganize what's going on in there. But yeah, I am creating a capsule closet at the moment. So that'll be posted on my Instagram page when it's complete. So there we are, the end of another video, and I quite enjoyed this one this week. I think with exceptions, it's something to work on long term, so it's not something you would see changing kind of in a week. It's going to be quite long term. So, and especially with the pandemic going on, with things changing so frequently, there's no real chance to settle and actually accept things all at once. But it's been great catching up again, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I will talk to you very soon. So that is it. So I came through here because I was really inspired, and I was like, I need to start my video. Forgot about my toasty. It still tastes great, but it's just not. It's not hot muy caliente anymore. It's lukewarm. Video series of my life as a retired athlete.